Hello, hi, it's Kelly, and I'm from the Paper Artiste, and we are going to go over the papers that we made in Papermaking 126B. So, to begin with, here is a piece, and this had some lavender in it. Here are some pieces that I used the Sizzix on, and I'm going to show you that. Here is a piece that I had added string to, and what I do is all pieces of string for my sewing I throw in the basket. So I thought I would try to see how that would work. Here is a piece with some watercolor and some spray on it. The spray is called Tattered Angels, and on this side you can see where the paint actually bled through the paper, and also with the sprays it came through the paper. So there we go. Here is a piece that I used. It's almost like tulle. Yeah. This is how it came, and I wanted to see if it would stay on the paper, and it does. It sticks to the paper. It doesn't come off. You have to kind of cut it, and it cuts real easy. So if you can see how that, it just cuts off real easy, just like that. And so that came, and it has like a fishnet effect on it. It's kind of cool. So so that was an interesting experiment on that one. This one here is paper. It was copy paper, and I wanted to see if the paper would adhere to paper, and it does. This had some script on it, and when I went through it, and it bound to the copy paper. Here's a piece of scrapbook paper which it didn't really bind to. Now I don't know if it was because of the size of the paper, or if it was because the paper, the scrapbook paper, almost feels like there's some kind of a sizing on it or something. But so anyway, then here was a piece that I used. This had parchment on it, and the paper sticks to it really good. So that's kind of good to know that when you're making paper, it can stick on paper. So that was kind of nice to know. Here's a piece of experiment I wanted to try. This here is the acrylic ink. I have another one like that too. Here it is here. And what's nice to know about the acrylic ink is that it doesn't bleed through the paper. It just stays on top. The sprays, on the other hand, the Lindy sprays, the Tim Holtz sprays, the Delusional sprays, they bleed through the paper. So, but the acrylic and the watercolor, depending on how saturated the water is. So you can see here that on the watercolor, it bled right through the paper on that one. So those were kind of interesting. Oh, and these here, these were a little jewels. I just stuck it in the paint, and it actually sticks. It's sticking to it, so that's kind of nice to know. This here is just a spray. You can see some of the gold flake that was in there, but that came out kind of pretty. Here's another one of the thread pieces, and it has a really cute flower piece in there. Here was some ribbon that I used. This was actually kind of cool, but if you can see, it has that really nice texture on it. I like the way that this came out. This will make great artist trading cards. Here's one where I added a little watercolor to it to see how it would work, you know, being painted. So that's good. Here's one where I loaded it up with seeds and lavender and just all kinds of leaves and stuff. And then I sprayed it with some coffee stain with some mica in it. So that came out really good. What's nice to know is that the paper is very nice. It doesn't break or crack, or it's very... It feels good paper. It's heavy paper, but it's nice paper. So here's a piece here. I had pieces of felt in here. I wanted to see if it would, if the fabric would stick to it, and it does. Here was a piece of tulle that I had on there, and that's on there. That stays really good. Here's a piece that I used with just the shredded. I didn't cut any, I didn't blend this paper up. I just threw the shredded pieces in, and it came out nice. This was the effect that I was kind of looking for. I just didn't want the shredded pieces. I've got these pieces over here. It is how I wanted the pieces to come. And as you can see here, this is what I was looking for. I was just looking for paper with chunks of pieces on the top. And that came out really nice. I'm using this for a project. So this came out to what I wanted. So this is kind of nice. I have some thick pieces, and I have some really thin pieces. So when you're making the pulp, when you first use the mix, it makes it thick. Then as you continue to make the paper, the pulp becomes thinner and thinner, and so does your paper. So so this is a nice thick piece. This is a little bit more brittle though. These pieces here are more flexible. So this piece here, I added some napkin on it, and it came out very nice. I like that. And like I said, this was the paper, and this is what I'm looking for. I'm making pages out of this. I will trim the tops of them and have them look nice and neat on there. But as we go along, I will show you some more things. Here, this little piece here broke off. I have to glue it back on. But these pieces here, I didn't use any fragrance oil on these, but these are all mixed with wildflowers. So, and these pieces here, I used the paper, and I used the Sizzix here. And what you do is you make your sandwich here. You put that on there. Put this down on there. Stick this in there. And you run that through. And just for good measure, I'll run it back through again. And so the paper does work really, oh, well, this one didn't. There it goes. This is thicker paper, but it does come out, and I was using this for, I'm going to put these on there. This one here has a seed on it right there, and there, and there. I guess I got to just make sure that I get the pieces with the seeds on it. There's a seed there. So they come off. And I also used circle cutters. Then I tried my hand-at sewing on it, and that works really good too with the sewing. So let's give it a go. I'm going to try a bigger stitch on this. And So that seems to be working out nice on that. It's not puckering or, you know, breaking off the paper. So the paper can hold up to it. So that's good to know. Good to know. Also, with the little charms, I have this one here. These ones here have seeds in them. And I put this little bulb pin on there as well. But how you do these is you just take your We Are Memories Keeper hole punch, and you stick this in there like so, and just punch a hole in it, and there you go. And then you got yourself a little charm. Then on the back of the card, or when I give this to somebody, I put it on the card or the gift, and then I just give instructions on what to do with it. You just plan it out. And that was what I used those little cookie cutters for. So that was good. So those were some different things that I've tried. We're going to give our hand at stamping to see how that will work. I have not stamped on. I don't know if this is the right stamp to use on this, but we're going to give it a go and see how it stamps. This is probably not the right stamp to use on this. But, oh, that's not too bad. It stamps nice. Let's just try a regular stamp. Let's see how that works. Depending on the texture, you might have to use your Misty or Tim Holtz platform to like repeat it over and over again, but it stamps pretty good. I'm all right with that. Homemade paper, yay. So you can sew on it, you can stamp on it, you can punch it, you can, let's see how this punches. Oh, it punches nice. Look at that. So you know what? You could punch out some paper with seeds on it. So you could mix it up with your seeds and then just punch it out. That's kind of, let's see, that's got a seed or two in there. That's kind of interesting. I never thought about that. So those are a couple different tries. I also tried ironing on one of these embroidery transfer patterns, but it didn't come out really well. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it it might have been because I did it wrong, but I tried it again on another one, and it didn't come out really good. So it doesn't absorb into the paper. So transferring something onto this, I'm not so sure. I think next time I'm going to make the paper thinner, and I'm going to see if I can run it through my printer. That would be good, because like I said, it's pretty good about not breaking. So going through the printer might have a different property on it. So maybe just making regular paper. Maybe if I used the paper with nothing in it, I have these pieces. But these pieces are a little bit more brittle that I made. These are the ones, now, but look how thin this one is. This is really super thin. And this one here these came out really nice. But you can't put these through the printer. I tried. It just gets, the paper break. I wish I had an example, but I don't. But this too, I used a square picture frame. And then this one here, I already cleaned up the sides on it. That's why it actually looks really good. So there we go. Those are the so those are different kinds of ideas that you can use with your homemade paper. And I enjoyed experimenting with this. This was a good, fun stuff for me. So I hope you enjoyed it too, and I hope you learned different things. And that's all I have. And I wish you a great week, and have a good time experimenting and crafting. Bye-bye.